peak on it. We are 30 episodes away from 100. That's kind of crazy.
30 away from 100, which is a testament to our work, brother, and the support that we've been getting on this show. So we getting there. Still not a done deal, but again, shout out to the love support. Episode 70. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's an amazing feat. I'm your host, Danny Ocean, as always, joined by the smoothest man on the planet, Losty Mix. How you living?
Man, let me tell you right now. I think me and you were talking off camera, but I'm going through a work fantasy football league draft. For the people that don't know, this is a thing I was made mentioning a little bit last week. Thought it got nixed. It definitely came back. It's a 12 team league, the only 12 team league that I'm doing this year. We randomized the draft order yesterday before the workday. I got pick 6. I got pick 6. Because this is a work draft, I've been told you, I gave everyone an hour between picks. People, no, it's okay. Like, this is acceptable when you're working, when it's among professionals, because everyone's busy. But let's just say we got to round 4, and I quickly let everyone know we will be going back to 30. We'll be doing 30 minutes per pick, and I set it to where the computer will auto pick if you take the entire time. Before, I was trying to be nice. So before I was nice, I let the time run down, and then I'd basically be like at whoever, hey, can you go and make a pick, or I'm gonna let the computer choose for you. Now we're in round 4. The best players have been taken. Y'all are about to be stuck with who you're about to be stuck with. That's what I'm about to start telling you. It's unfair if I just randomly rando draft somebody for someone and they end up with Saquon Barkley when they really wanted Aaron Jones. But hey, yo, dog, if you about to choose between if you can't choose between Cole Kmet and Dawson Knox,
we got problems.
It's okay. The computer will do it for you. Don't worry about it. No, computer got you. Computer got you.
Got you. It's funny.
Someone in the chat, not shut up. Shout out Jamie. Jamie in the chat asked, "What's your team so far?" I'll let you guys know, and then I'm gonna let you go, Danny, and tell them who the pod's brought to us by. But so far, people, let me give you a rundown of this draft so far. So I had pick 6. This league let Cooper Kupp, yes, Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown last year. They let Cooper Kupp fall all the way to 6. I got to a point where before me, I was just looking at when the person in front of me was going, I said, yo, there's no way Cooper Kupp is going to drop to 6 because this is Cooper Kupp. Like, someone should have the football knowledge to take Cooper Kupp off the board. He fell to 6. So I got Cooper Kupp at 6. This was clearly an RB heavy draft class because my second round choice is Tyreek Hill because all of the elite running backs were gone by the time I picked again. My third round pick was Kyle Pitts because Travis Kelce had went, and I knew I needed an elite tight end early. My quarterback is Lamar Jackson, so I took him in the 4th round because someone had took Josh Allen with the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, and then Justin Herbert went in the pick right before mine in the 4th. So I knew I needed to just go ahead and lock down Lamar Jackson because Mahomes had already been taken. And then my last pick in the 5th round, I got Elijah Mitchell. So I got Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Kyle Pitts, Lamar Jackson, Elijah Mitchell. I'm waiting on this 4th round to finish. Y'all might see me looking over here and picking again. So if you do, I'll continue to let y'all know if you're watching the video. But that's where I'm at right now.
I'll talk because I had a fantasy draft Sunday night in a 12-team league. Indeed, I sent you my roster. So before we get into that, the show is brought to you by goingfor2.com. Head over to goingfor2.com for all your fantasy needs. Football season is back. Drafts are happening. Go over to Going for 2. Daily redraft strategy, dynasty strategy, daily fantasy strategy, any kind of fantasy league you're on. Going for 2 has something for you. D, I sent you my team the other night, and you weren't as confident as I was in my team. I had the 11th pick, so I really tried my best to play the board in regards. And then when I got to around the 5th round, I just saw people reaching and just taking their favorite players. I thought I did a great job. What was your hesitancy?
I think remind me of your team again, because I think there was a few players that I was like, it was either your wide receivers or your pass catchers, and I was like, okay, if they have a good season, I think you might have something here.
So and this isn't in any order. Tom Brady is my quarterback. Scary Terry is wide receiver 1. I got Brandon Cooks, Devontae Smith. My running backs are Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones. My
That's what
tight
it
end.
was. I got you right now. That's what it was. It was your first 3 wide receivers, and I said that's what it was. I said, yo, they got some shaky QB play, but if they get solid QB play, oh, you just got 3 steals right there. Not as much as Devontae Smith, which by the way, actually I'll say later. Not so much Devontae Smith. I'm not too much worried about that QB play.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Cooks, and who was the other one?
Scary Terry.
Yo, the quarterback play is decent there. I think you might have 2 steals there. I'm not even going to hold you. Those are 2 good good running backs though, for sure.
My tight end, people start reaching for tight ends. I tried to play the board, so Albert O dropped to me from Denver. Breece Hall fell to me in like I'm trying to go over my picks. Yeah, I had running backs the first 3 picks, so it was no. Breece Hall fell to like the 4th or 5th round, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab him. And then on my bench, Antonio Gibson, Chris Olave, Kenneth Gainwell, Njoku, DJ Chark, and then my backup is Tua.
Yo, I like that Tua as the backup quarter. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every mock draft, I've ended up with Tua. Almost every mock draft, I've ended up with Tua as my backup. Like I've gotten one of the elites. And when I say elite people, I want y'all to know I'm talking about Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Elite fantasy football quarterbacks. Don't get my words mixed up. Y'all know I think Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. But in terms of fantasy quarterbacks, those are my 4 elites. So if I end up with one of the 4 elites, and then my backup is Tua Tagovailoa, and every time I'm like, yo, y'all are sleeping on this dude. This guy has 2 of the fastest players in the league that he's throwing the ball to. That that right there will get you at least 10 touchdowns, 10 to 15 touchdowns.
Just run fast. Before we're gonna put a pin in this and come back to fantasy later. So tonight we'll talk some NBA. We're going to talk about Chet Holmgren's injury and how the league should handle players in the offseason. We're going to talk about this was the final week of NFL preseason. Remember, guys, it's on 3 games now. The regular season starts in 2 weeks. Today was cut day. We'll talk about our thoughts on preseason. We'll talk about some surprise cuts. We'll talk about Jimmy G living the American dream. We'll talk about the NFC South is what we're previewing tonight. So again, we'll talk about records. Again, we'll go over that when we get there. And then we have a lot of quick hitters. We talk about some college football, Brian Robinson, Brady's vacation. We do some WNBA recap. We want to talk about Game of Thrones. And then we are going to end with one of the greatest bars in the history of professional wrestling. And that is the bar Seth Rollins delivered last night. Doing his promo.
We're going to get there, dog. Yeah. But because I'm on the West Coast. When I watched that live, I said, hey, yo, I was like, whoa, is this real?
Vince is gone and Triple H, like we'll get to that later. But yeah, that might be one of the best lines in wrestling history. But let's start in the NBA. So it was announced that Chet Holmgren, for all those who know, he's first round pick at OKC. He will miss the entire season after a foot injury, hurting during a program game, playing against LeBron in Seattle. So prayers up to Chet. D, the question is, do you think GMs will start looking at how players spend their offseason differently based on this? Or do you think you just chop it up and say injuries just happen?
Man, I think it's a fine line, right? Because I think no athlete goes out there with the intentions of being hurt. I think from a GM and team's perspective, it's like, hey, we know, you want, like during the off season, we know you want to have fun. We know you have like things you want to do. You got fans, you have, business requirements that maybe require you to just kind of be moving and whatnot. So I think they're understanding of that. But I think from their perspective, it's like, yo, at the core, like your job is a basketball player for the National Basketball Association. And we need you to play. Right. And so, especially when you start thinking about the money these teams are giving, or the money that these players are now getting, the money these players will continue to get as the television contracts continue to just rise and rise. I mean, I think as I put it like this, I think as the television money, more television money comes in and these contracts start going up, I think you're very well going to start seeing these. It won't surprise me if you start seeing teams that kind of put the incentives in guys' contract, like in the off season, you are to be training or handling business, like, players are sponsored, like those type of business opportunities. But outside of that, I think they might start getting shaky. And in the case of pro-ams, see, I will say they might be a little more lenient on things like the Olympics, World Cups, because again, those are more FIBA, right? International basketball. But pro-ams, how can you just as a GM? Because I'm thinking about it from the GM's perspective right now. As a GM, what do I say to my owner when he has to cut the check for $200+ million for this guy to play basketball, and this guy gets hurt playing basketball in a place he wasn't even getting paid to play basketball? This isn't at San Antonio on a Wednesday night and someone stepped on your foot. Now, we're going to take care of you because you was playing for us. You in Seattle on a Saturday trying to guard Bron for the wad. I think that's how GMs are looking at it. And gosh, man, I really want to just say, Chet, man, I'm sorry, dog. Prayers up. I hope you recover. I know he didn't intentionally get hurt, and so I'm really feeling for him, because I feel like if you imagine, you can only imagine that he's being tough on himself right now. But could you imagine some of the things people are probably in his mentions probably saying right now for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Like some serious OKC Thunder fan out here is probably saying mean things about him because they thought the Thunder were going to win 15 games this year instead of the 10 that they won last year.
I'm with you. I think this is kind of a tricky situation, because anyone who knows someone who plays basketball seriously know that hoopers hoop, and they're going to hoop at a scrimmage at the local Y, or they're going to go play in the pro-am. If I'm a GM, I chalk this up to the game and say this could have happened at a scrimmage. What's that court in New York that everyone seems to be
Rucker.
playing?
That was a good point.
Well, not Rutgers. There's another
KD,
one.
Yo, don't go play at the Rucker.
Right, because it's good for basketball. It's good for the game. It's good for the brand. So if I'm a GM, like, you can tell your players, hey, be very selective in the games that you play in, but I don't think you can stop it fully. Because again, like you said, you can't sit here and tell the international player, especially since the game is global, like, no, you can't go play for your home country this summer. Like, we pay you to play basketball, not Greece, Giannis. Like, Giannis said, get out of my face. I'm gonna go play for Greece. So it's a really tricky slope. Hoopers are gonna hoop. It's the one sport you can play year round. Like, I know people get mad when football players get hurt playing basketball. Hell yeah, I got a problem with that, because we don't play to play basketball at all. Like, you need to be playing football. So like that instance, I get the anger.
So I'm the crazy one who does not have a problem with football players playing basketball.
I don't have a problem with it. I just know as a professional football player, like if I'm a DB and I tear my ACL trying to dunk, I know, because in football, contracts aren't, really guaranteed. Like, if I'm not Darrelle Revis or like a top tier of my position and I get hurt playing football, there's a chance I'm going to get cut and lose money. Like, is it worth it? Like, unless I'm like, if I'm Josh Allen, all right, cool. What you going to do to me? I'm Josh Allen. But like, there aren't that many players on that. Like, if Aaron Donald got hurt playing basketball, what the Rams going to say?
So I guess the question I have for you is how do you draw the line if you're a GM? Right, you can't tell LeBron James, yo, you can't go play in a Seattle program. But I feel like if you're a GM, and I don't want to tell people what they can and can't do, but I feel like if you're a GM and you have a first or second year player, or a rookie or a second year player, you can probably tell him, hey, yo, dog, just tap him on the ass real quick and be like, hey, dog.
Yeah, like, again, it depends on the player, right? Because LeBron James has that power. Like, you can't tell LeBron, you don't go play in the Seattle Pro-Am, because he's LeBron. But rookie like Chet, no, dog, we need you. Summer league, come to the facility, train, get ready for the season. We don't need you in Seattle playing Pro-Am basketball, because that was like his second or third run. Like he's been playing Pro-Am basketball since summer league, right? Like, I feel like I've seen highlights from him.
Even a hooping, which and that's where I fight this internal struggle, because it's like, yo, he's a hooper. Like,
that's what they do.
Play basketball, and there's no other. How can you work on your skills as a basketball player without playing basketball?
Exactly, and that's the thing. How am I going to work on if I'm Chet, I could say, hey guys, I got a chance to play against LeBron before the season started. Like, I had to do it, and I'd be like, I get it.
Like, but it's just unfortunate. I understand. Yeah. Look at the chat, the activity in the chat. Let's get some.
It's blowing up.
Yeah, no, what's good for the folks who are listening? We got a few of our friends here in the chat, so let's get some shout outs. What's good, Gator J?
What's up,
I see
Gator?
you in here. Jamie P was good. Of course, research. Our guy Kyle Sinra is in here. Josh, I see you. What's good? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? Kyle, Gator J. Hope you guys are getting ready for this draft on Sunday. I can tell you that this dynasty league in particular, I've been researching probably the most out of any of my leagues, just because like a dynasty league is so much different. I'm really gonna have to play the board. And it's just different. This is my first time doing a dynasty league. First time not using defenses and using independent defensive players. So now I'm thinking about like how you want to structure, your roster. You may. And we can get into football right after this, but let's just say you decide to go. You decide to prioritize IDPs and say, "Yo, I can get 2 IDPs who could probably score me as much as 1 good tight end." Like you can game plan and strategize for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the board plays out. I'm also curious to see who's going to take the first reach. This is probably going to be the most serious group of fantasy players I've ever been in the league with. So like part of me knows like how mock drafts have been going. I feel like it's going to be very similar to how this draft's going to go. So now I got to see who's going to be the person to reach.
Me. It's going to be me. I'm going to reach.
At 3?
It's going to be me. No, not at 3. Like at 3. Like I have been strategizing at 3. I'm not taking Aaron Donald at 3, but I've been like I have my game plan. Like if this happens and I'm doing this, and this is how I go from there. Like I have different scenarios in my mind of how I'm gonna draft depending on how the board falls.
Bam asked if there was Superflex. No, I think we did.
We did an extra IDP.
We did an extra IDP. Yeah, so everyone has an extra. Everyone has 2 independent defensive players. It's 3 flex, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and a quarterback. And that people is 11 players. So you're going to put every week. You're going to suit up 11 players. So look at Kyle. Look at Kyle in the chat up there at pick 10 talking about some you guys looking to make moves. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, sir.
I am not trading pick number 4.
I ain't trading shit. I'm here.
Look at I knew
Kyle's looking up to trade up in the first round. No, I'm not taking Aaron Donald at 3, Gator. Sorry.
Kyle,
Josh.
Kyle, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, this is the last thing I have to say, and then we can talk about the final week of the preseason. So in my keeper league, it was a big argument because over the weekend, essentially what happened was everyone gets to pick. Everyone has 2 keepers,
right?
And one of the dudes was essentially like we had two arguments. One dude was essentially like, "Yo, if I only know 1 keeper and I don't want to keep anyone else, do I get that pick back?" And everyone was like,
"No,
you do not, sir."
No,
and he got so mad he left the league. Just straight up left. He did. He got replaced. Chill. Another argument we had was because essentially one of the guys that guy who just left, one of the guys that he had was Christian McCaffrey. But last year, Christian, as you know, was hurt. And that guy was trying to make a playoff push. So instead of putting Christian McCaffrey on IR, he drops Christian McCaffrey.
No.
And another dude picks him up. It's literally towards the end of the season. Another dude picks him up, right? And as soon as I see when the guy picks him up, and you know the guy, he's in our redraft league. In our redraft league. So when the guy picks him up, I text him. I said, "What do you think you're doing? Put him back." Like, no. Leave him.
Oh no, you can't do that. I mean,
he was like, "No, I'm going to keep him on my roster because that's what I'm going to do." I was like, "Okay, I don't have an argument there." And I remember telling him, "You know, you only get to keep 2 keepers, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "You have Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey. We only get 2 keepers."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay."
Yep.
I said, "Just know you are going to have to make a decision here. And you're not going to want to make it because you're going to want to keep all 3. How much you want to bet?" He said, "No, man, I'm going to drop 1." So what do you think he comes to the league and asked if we want to do earlier last week?
Three keepers.
Guys, I think it would be better if we go up to 3 keepers because I think that puts more incentive for people to make trades. And I said, no, we should definitely keep it at 2 keepers. And people would start like, well, why not make it 3? Why not? And I said, okay, let me put it in perspective to you guys. This guy has Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara. And he picked up Christian McCaffrey late last year. And that's why he really, really, really wants 3 keepers because that's who he's going to keep. And he was like, you don't know who I'm going to keep. I said, who are you going to keep? And he said, okay, I'd probably keep those 3, but still. And then everyone was like, nah, let's keep it at 2. So then another argument of his was, all right, well, if we're going to keep it at 2, all right, cool. Well, then who wants Alvin Kamara or Derrick Henry? They're on the trading block right now. And someone was immediately like, sir, I don't know if you should do that. Then everyone then someone else's argument was, no, if you're going to trade anyone, trade your keepers. Trade one of your keepers. Don't trade someone that you just want someone else to have so you can move up in the draft. You're fucking over everyone else who is going to keep their keepers and ride out their draft pick. And it was a big, big argument. So I had to come in and had to put my commissioner hat on. And I said, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in the middle because I see both ends of this argument. Let's just vote. Oh, this guy got smoked in that vote. I set him up for failure. As soon as because you know me, I'm always go to let's vote. But I'm only suggest it if I'm pretty confident in my side winning. Oh man, his side lost bad. I think he lost that vote like 7-3. It wasn't close.
I respect him because I'd have tried to do the same thing. I'd have done the same thing and tried to fight. If I lose, I lose, but I respect it. Gator J, you are correct. I am not giving up 3. D has been screwing me over in these drafts. Is it your time to pick?
Okay, let me give you an update.
Okay.
Oh man, so someone auto-picked Dalton Schultz.
Okay.
Dude after him went Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
Guy after him is picking right now. I'm gonna give you a rundown on players available, and then let's talk preseason.
Okay.
Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, T.J. Hawkinson, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, Jalen Hurts, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. My pick is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go in 8. I go in 8. My pick is in 8 picks.
So for those who are just catching up, D is in the middle of a work draft right now, redraft, standard PPR. D, tell the people who you've drafted so far, and then I'll give some insight on where you should go with this next pick.
So far I have Lamar Jackson, Elijah Mitchell, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Kyle Pitts. This is a 12-person league, no defenses, 3 flexes, and it's a PPR league. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm looking at the players right now, and Chris Godwin or Amon-Ra St. Brown, right there. It's literally gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a coin toss. But I see.
Yeah.
Our guy Kyle in the chat says I love that St. Brown value as well. I think.
Yeah, me too.
But I also love Chris Godwin. They didn't put him on the PUP list, which tells me this guy's getting healthier and healthier and healthier. Yes, 1 QB, Gator J. Jamie he says J.K. Dobbins. My only thing with J.K. Dobbins is that clearly something's going on in the Baltimore backfield because Gus Edwards, he's not healthy yet. J.K. Dobbins, I know he's off the torn ACL, and they just signed Kenyon Drake. Something's going on in that backfield, which is why I got Lamar Jackson, because something tells me he's going to end up being the de facto guy. But NFL preseason, week 3, let's chat about it. Danny.
Let's do it. So in week 3, in the final preseason, it's clear that this weekend was about depth and evaluating positions across the board, defense, special teams. Anything stand out to you? Someone just sent you something stupid.
Dude who got auto-drafted Dalton Schultz, who was the guy who was pushing to shorten the time between picks. Why did we switch to less time?
Oh no! Your first complaint is the commissioner of the work league.
But the thing is, he was right next to me when I said, "Yo, I think I'm going to take this to 30 minutes." whatever. He's going to sit there. He's going to sit there with that because, dog, you had 30 minutes. You had 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay. Anything stand out to me? I think last week we talked about how good the Eagles' offensive line was. One thing that stood out to me this week was the depth of the New York Jets randomly. This is a team who they have a lot of good players. Them as a team and as an organization, they don't know how to win. That's where their problem is. But as an organization, I think when you look at them from all positions, depth-wise, the New York Jets are randomly a deep team. Pause. And which ties into like when we start talking about cuts, don't be surprised if you guys start seeing a lot of players who are released from the Jets quickly get claimed off of waivers by other teams. Not to say the Jets are going to be that next team, the team that takes the next step, but I definitely see the Jets in the beginning stages of probably where the Bills were like 3-4 years ago. You got your quarterback clearly. Hope so. I don't know. Hopefully. You hopefully have your quarterback, surround him with skilled position players. You guys are going to have a decent defense. Offensive line might be decent. Can you guys go out there for 60 minutes and beat the other team? That's what it's going to eventually come down to for the Jets. So that's randomly what stood out to me. Jordan Love, from like a Packers fan standpoint, man, the guy's looking better. You can tell he's been learning from the GOAT. And I was reading a report that Packers feel confident that if they need to call on Jordan Love, like if Aaron misses time, they're confident that Jordan Love can come in and win them a game, which should tell you about where he's at in his development, which now I'm about to get my salty shit off. All you motherfuckers who were sitting there talking about why would they take a quarterback when you don't need him, this is why. Y'all seen what happened to Sam Darnold. Now watch, when Jordan Love is able to play, whether it's next year or the year afterwards, he's probably going to look like a half-decent starting quarterback in this league. And a lot of you are going to say, oh, no, they were the Packers got him in the first round so many years ago. Nah, dog. I still remember how the media almost drove our quarterback into the arms of the Denver Broncos. Jamie says Dobbins is a league winner. His end of season schedule is fire. I don't know. Kyle says he's not convinced. No, Gator says yes. There's a reason Drake is there, aka Freeman from last year. Okay, a non-fit. But even
Kyle
then,
he's not. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think Devontae Freeman really did a lot. Look at my dog right there getting his freak on. I really don't think Freeman did a lot, but I see what you mean. Kyle said, I'm not convinced in Love and Jordan Love. He said he'd rather have Higgins or Pittman than Love, but I get that you need a backup plan to Rodgers. I agree. Jimmy G, the best backup in the league. Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Highest paid, but you want to go there and then we can go to the. We already talked about the NFL preseason.
Yeah, let's talk about Jimmy G. So he got his 1-year deals, announced that it's essentially made him the highest paid backup in the league, and it keeps him in San Francisco for more year. D, what are your thoughts on this deal?
This like when you dump a girl because you think your next girl is prettier, then you realize the girl you with might be a crazy ass girl, and now you're trying to double back to mend your relationships with your old girl just in case this girl turns out to be a kook. That's what's happening here, guys. If you can't tell, the 49ers are absolutely second guessing using that draft capital on Trey Lance. They are absolutely second guessing that one. Man, this is tough because I like how people are framing it. It is essentially a win-win for both organizations. Either this guy, Trey Lance, isn't going to work out and Jimmy G is the guy and you essentially take the Jordan Love route and you have him develop, or this guy is the guy and Jimmy G can help decide his trade destination for his next destination, assuming that if he plays, he gets incentives for playing. If he plays well, more incentives, which also helps his tape for the next team that he could want to be traded to. So, man. Oh, man. But it's very telling, though. It's very telling, though. Like, yo, you left me for somebody else. Yo, you dumped me because you said Shorty got the fat ass. But now you coming back to me. Like, what's good with you, yo? If I'm Jimmy G, oh man. See, everyone's wondering, oh, how Jimmy G feels. How does this look for Jimmy G? Y'all not asking the important questions. What do you think that conversation was like?
Yes.
What do you think that? Because I can tell you right now, Jimmy G probably had a little bit of arrogance in his tone.
Oh yeah.
Y'all want me back?
Oh, the Niners talked to his agent. They did not talk to Jimmy G. But yeah, 16 mil to be a backup. Hey man, that's straight from the church of Chase Daniel. Like Chase Daniel, someone was like, yeah, that's my disciple. That's what I'm talking about.
Of work right there. Bam, I'm gonna say this.
Osweiler's like, yeah.
Bam, I'm gonna say this. You say Jimmy G is garb, and here's what I'm gonna say: is Jimmy G an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar, a Justin Herbert, any of the elites in terms of playing the football position? No. But you know what he can do? If you surround him with a good enough team, he can get you to the playoffs. And you know what he can even better do? He can likely take you to a Super Bowl. Just if you surround him with a team that's competent enough.
Yo, man, we have some Kyle Shanahan hate in the chat. Whoa.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan is 42-39. I can tell you, those 42 wins, 5 to 10 of them are probably because of straight quarterback play. The rest of them, 100% was because they put together a good team in San Francisco. The quarterback, if your quarterback is the position you are currently evaluating, that should tell you everything else you need to know about the rest of your team, people. That should tell you all you need to know. That's why these people make these deals. Because another example is the Denver Broncos. When the quarterback is the one position you are consistently evaluating, you're essentially saying this team is good enough. The quarterback cannot take us to the next level. So you can't say Jimmy G is garbage. Because if he really was garbage, they would have went and found another backup quarterback. Just want to throw that out there. Throw that out there too. Gator J says, was Kyle and John begging him to sign? Boy, they was probably like, look, I know it's been a little shaky. I know we said we was going in a different direction. But
I know we embarrassed you in front of everyone and said you weren't cute. But
and they said that shit early in training.
Yes.
Early. Like which
Cal was mad disrespectful.
Which should tell y'all why Mike Tomlin is keeping his so close to the chest.
Which is
y'all think he don't know who is the starting quarterback.
It's Maserati Mitch, baby. We get Maserati Mitch in the black and gold. We here.
Wait, he already announced Mitch would be starting with.
No, I'm just guessing it's Maserati because I just like saying Maserati Mitch.
No. But Mike Tomlin still hasn't announced starting quarterback.
Oh, he's not. Oh. Damn, Bam said the team carried the corpse of Jimmy past the deadbeat. I always mispronounce that word.
Look at Bam. See now, Bam just he's sending haymakers. I'm just saying.
He just sent a bunch of hate. You ready to talk about the NFC South? I'm ready to talk about the NFC South.
Bam, by the way, the Green Bay jokes, they don't even hit the same no more because I'm fully okay with this team being mediocre this year. Like it's. Our time is passed,
we're here.
Like,
okay.
It's like our time is passed, and that's completely okay. I've seen my team win the Super Bowl.
All right. So NFC South. For everyone who doesn't know, we go by each team. We predict their records, where they land in the division, and where they land in the conference as a whole. We talk about biggest storylines, breakout players, division MVPs, and then anything else that's on our mind. D, it sounds like you are ready to pick. If my ears are not deceiving me, are you on the board?
Every time you hear that sound, that's the sound of somebody picking. But I can tell you the last two picks were J.K. Dobbins and Jalen Hurts.
Okay, all right. So let's start off. We're going to live to see this pick tonight. So I'll let you get started with your picks. How does the division shake out? Where do people rank, and where do they rank in the conference?
Hold on. Actually, can you start us off? I got to find my predictions real quick.
Yeah. So we'll start. I will say this. We did this before Baker was a Panther. Not that means anything really. And yeah, let's get started. So for me, it really doesn't. Yo, this might be a little reckless.
I'm looking at my predictions for Carolina, and I might give them 2 more wins.
I mean, so for me, have the Falcons in last place. They are 4-13, 1-5 in the division, 14th in the conference. Dog, I do not believe in Atlanta Falcons football. Calvin Ridley is gone. Desmond Ridder looked okay. Like you putting you all who all in on Marcus Mariota? Like find me the fan who was like, yo, I'm ready for the Marcus Mariota era.
Yo,
Like
you
you
mean to
got
tell
Kyle
me that you
Pitts,
think a professional football team is only going to win how many games?
4. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Also at 4-13, but 3-3 in the division, 13th in the conference, the Carolina Panthers. Like I'm all in on DJ Moore and Kyle Pitts, especially DJ Moore. As bad as
Oh
Baker
man.
is, yo, your dog thinks you're having a stroke. You all right there,
Oh man, down
Hendricks?
Hendrick. Down. Oh my goodness.
So DJ, like Baker's the best quarterback DJ Moore has ever played with. So like I'm not saying like don't draft DJ Moore. I'm not saying don't draft Kyle Pitts. Like it's very easy to figure out to throw it to those guys. I just think those teams are putrid. At 6-11, and this is where I'm gonna have a lot of beef with a lot of people because this team is gonna be ass. The New Orleans Saints are gonna be 6-11, 3-3 in the division. I have them 9th in the conference. I do not believe in the Saints. I don't know why people do. The Saints are going to be booty. And then at 13-4, 5-1 in the division, 2nd in the conference, Tampa Bay.
Oh man. Okay. Interesting on those last couple ones. All right, I'll start. So I'm actually not even going to give them a couple extra wins. At
Okay.
2-14.
Oh my God.
Finishing 16th in the conference and 1-4 in the division. I have the Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I believe that they have a few really, really good players, but I don't know if this team has enough pieces to really contend. But I hope I'm wrong here because 2 wins by a professional football team is nasty. At 5-12 and 3-3 in the division, I have the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like they'll probably make a switch to Desmond Ridder probably around week 5, 6. And probably ride him out. He'll probably give them a couple wins. They might get hot at the end of the season. I just think they're going to be in a pretty bad way. So I got them at 5-12. At 9-7, finishing 7th in the NFC and 3-2 in the division. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of question marks at the offensive line position. I think there's, you have some question marks about Chris Godwin and his health, although I think he's going to be pretty healthy. Obviously no more Gronk, so you're obviously adjusting to Cameron Brayden, what he's able to bring at the court. I mean, at the tight end position. Yeah, you have the most accomplished quarterback. So I still feel like this is going to be a good football team. I just don't know with some of that offensive line questions. It could be tough, especially when you're talking about a quarterback who really struggles when you bring pressure from the inside. So I think teams are going to attack that inside, that offensive line. And then finishing 2nd in the NFC with a record of 12-5 and a divisional record of 4-2. I have the New Orleans Saints. You look at me this way, but if I'm putting them in a division where one team finished 2-14 and another finished 5-12, that's 4 easy wins right there.
I hear you. I just don't think the Saints are going to be good. I just don't.
I have the Saints 12-5, 4-2 in the division, finishing 2nd in the NFC. I think with Jameis coming back, Michael Thomas coming back healthy, the addition of Chris Olave, of course they have Alvin Kamara. They also added Jarvis Landry. I think defensively they keep a pretty stout defense, especially on that defensive line. I know they just traded away.
They just traded a Jim to us. Safety,
but I still think there's enough talent in that secondary and on that defense to keep this a pretty good team. Yeah. I feel like I honestly think the Packers and the Saints are going to have. I feel like the Packers and the Saints are going to be the 2 teams in the NFC to sit atop like 1 and 2. I think ended up giving me the number 1 seed to the Packers versus the Saints, just being that I think the Packers are just going to have a better divisional record at 5-1 versus the Saints being 4-2. But I think they're going to finish.
Okay.
I think they're going to finish with the same record, and that's how I have the NFC South shaping up.
Before we move on, I did not realize Skip Bayless was here with us tonight. Carolina will be on the edge of making the playoffs. Baker is on his last chance. Hello, Skip Bayless.
Bam.
Bam is a proxy for Skip. I see you. I did not know that. Who's your breakout player?
Chris Olave.
Okay.
I need y'all to go back and watch the tape. I know last year Ohio State had Jackson, JSN. They had Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, some other guys. Let me tell you something. Chris Olave was nice. He was playing on a team with other very nice receivers. I think Chris Olave has a chance. Him and Michael Thomas could be a good one too.
That could be real lethal.
Good.
For me, people know him in the fantasy world and real fans know him, and again, I know they're going to be terrible, but DJ Moore, like I said, Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback he's ever played with, which isn't saying much, but still, like, I think Baker and DJ Moore can do some damage. I think the streets will learn more about DJ Moore this year. Who's your MVP?
I feel like if you watch football and you watch the Carolina Panthers play, even back to when Cam's last couple years there, he was kind of high on DJ Moore.
Yeah,
he was always like, yo, no, this guy can play, yo. So, and if you've been watching like the progression of DJ Moore's career, you've seen no matter the quarterback, this guy's put up good numbers. So I'm with you. I feel like DJ Moore and Baker would definitely develop some chemistry early. And underrated, the impact Christian McCaffrey puts on the defense in terms of matchups. Christian McCaffrey is a wide receiver who plays running back, and they use him as such. So I think that could play into some of the matchups. So I like that. DJ Moore.
Who's your MVP?
MVP?
Your division MVP?
Oh, man. It's hard for me to pick anyone other than Tom Brady. And I'll say this: when I think of MVP, I think of just the letters in the acronym, most valuable player. I think Tom Brady is going to be the reason why the Bucs stay in the playoff thick of it and be 9-7. Let me tell y'all something. Tom Brady can make the playoffs in 9-7. He could probably still reach the NFC Championship game. Don't get it fucking twisted. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Like, he can definitely go 9-7, be a wild card team, and think about it. We're talking about a guy who has 7 Super Bowl rings. Yeah, he was 1-2 in terms of seeding ranks, but give this guy seed 3, 4, or 5 and make him go earn it. Every team he has to go play is going to be very scared when he comes into town.
On the road.
Yeah. So I like Brady as the MVP, but I also want to call out that I could also see. I don't know if this is MVP, but in terms of like, I guess I'll add a column. Comeback player in this division.
Okay.
Michael Thomas, yo. Don't forget, a couple of years ago, he gave folks, 120-something, 140-something receptions?
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Michael Thomas still nice. He heard the slant and go jokes. He heard Mr. Slant. He heard the
slant boy.
It's funny because if you had him during fantasy that year, you was like, yo, keep throwing them damn slants. I'll take them shits all day.
I'll eat those. For me, with Gronk gone, it's Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to get more red zone targets. I think Mike Evans is going to feast this year, so he's my division MVP.
How do you think Chris Godwin, his impact or his return to injury impacts Mike Evans this year?
It just depends on how quickly Chris Godwin can get back to where he was before he's injured. I feel like there's still going to be some rust. And in that time, I think Tom and Mike can build that rapport. I just think like Gronk got a lot of red zone targets. Like, who's going to get those targets now? Who is closest to Gronk on that team? Julio is there. Mike Evans is there. Like, you have some big body receivers that can go grab it. So I
think is what Tom needs.
Yeah, Tom doesn't need. Yeah, Tom's like, yo, I'm gonna throw it to the pylon. I need you to go get it.
Yeah, because going back to my my point about giving the Bucs this 9-7 record, I see a lot of it was due to some of the woes on that offensive line, but I could easily see the Bucs being maybe 11-6. I could easily see them being an 11-6 team because Tom Brady recognized that, hey, this offensive line has some holes in it. So what if we change it to get the ball out very quick? Now you nullify a pass rush if you just get the ball out fast. He also has check down. I mean, he also has Lenny F. who I'm high on because I have him as a keeper in the league. So, you know, I see what you're saying.
So you talked about Tom Brady, like getting wild card and he can go to the NFC Championship game. Do you agree with him being voted #1 overall by the players in NFL top 100?
You know who I think is the best player in the league, and they keep putting him at 3. It's listen. The thing is, I agree with Aaron Donald at 2.
Aaron Donald needs to be 1. You know how I feel about Aaron Donald is the best player in football. You ask anybody on this earth, you can have one person in the entire league to build your roster with. 95% of those people say, "Hey, dog, give me Aaron Donald."
Sir, actually, I think 15% of the league would say Aaron Donald. If you presented the question like that, 15% of the league would say Aaron Donald. The other 85 might say Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen.
Okay, start your defense then. Build your defense around one person. It's Aaron Donald. To me, Aaron Donald's the best player in football. College football is on its way. Who do you have reaching the playoffs?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we've been talking a lot of NFL football. Let's fucking go for college football. Like, I'm hyped for college football. When I was looking at the slate of games, there's a lot of good games. We can talk about opening weekend. We can talk about opening weekend next weekend once we have all the games. But I will say, in terms of who I think reaches the playoff, y'all know the first 2, Bama and Ohio State.
If you take my final 2, I'm going to be very upset.
Bama and Ohio State. Now, here's where I think it gets interesting. I think the winner of the Pac-12 will be.
Get out of here, dog! Did you see my notes? I have the same. I have the same. Go ahead. We're on the same page. Are you
your notes? Well, your notes aren't in here.
No. I was making a joke. That was a joke.
Because you're gonna. Okay. I get you there. So yes, I would say the winner of the Pac-12 would be the third one. Okay, this fourth one. I like the University of Notre Dame. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like University of Notre Dame, and this is why. Historically speaking, Notre Dame, yes, they start the road versus Ohio State. I think regardless the outcome of the Ohio State game, Notre Dame has a chance to make the college football playoff because I think Ohio State will be good, and you can lean off of that. I think they may not lose another game after that.
Really? So that means the Pac-12 winner won't get in unless it's Utah. Because
No,
they play SC. That is their last game.
No. I think Oregon's going to win the Pac-12 personally.
Okay, I got you now.
So I think Oregon's going to win the Pac-12, which means I think Notre Dame will get in because
they beat USC.
So you have USC winning.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, my 4 Bama, Ohio State.
Mr. Fraud from Oklahoma went over to USC. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Fraud. Yes. SC. I feel like that. And then for me, I don't like this pick, but I couldn't justify anyone else over them, so I put in Clemson. I can't. I want to believe in Texas A&M, but Texas A&M and Alabama are in the same division, and they're going to play each other in the regular season. So whoever wins that game, the other one is probably gone because that person is going to the SEC championship game. You're not going to put in A&M and Bama over the second place loser in the SEC championship. So I can't justify that. I think Ohio State is going to throttle Notre Dame, but that's good because I think the voters will forget about that.
Yeah,
because
you have to.
Ohio State's going to
be one of the. Ohio State's going to be number 1 and 2, what I believe, most of the season. I do not see top to bottom. There are not a lot of teams better than Ohio State and Alabama.
I agree.
My thing with Clemson is there's some question marks at the QB position.
Yes.
I like DJ, but this is a make or break year. And
yes, because he's about to get drafted.
Not even that. It's like, dog, Clemson has the defense that can win you something. You guys have the recruits, I believe, at the receiver and running back position to have something. DJ's quarterback play is so iffy. And so now I'm wondering, do you guys not have enough talent in terms of QB depth to put someone else in there? Or is this is he showing you something at practice? Because when the game film doesn't always translate. I know he's a good quarterback. Maybe it's the system.
I will say It was just really hard for me to find a team. I think Notre Dame is going to lose to SC at the end of the year, and they can't put a 2-loss Notre Dame team in, especially if
that
they
could
don't.
end up being a play-in game. We already know towards the end. I'm saying like towards the end of the year when certain matchups happen, they essentially end up being de facto play-in games because the loser's going to just be taken out of playoff contention. So knowing that USC and Notre Dame play each other at the end of the year, it could be a situation where like USC is 6, Notre Dame is 5.
Okay. And this is where it gets on. This is where I have beef, and this is where it gets unfair because USC could beat Notre Dame and then lose to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. And if I'm SC, the argument I can make is if I didn't have to play in a conference championship game, I beat Notre Dame, I deserve to go in. And that's where the beef starts with Notre Dame getting in.
Y'all killed me.
That's where.
Listen, what conference game would they get put in?
The ACC. Put them in the ACC.
Yeah, but they have contractual obligations with certain schools, i.e. USC. That's why they play in every year.
You can make it work. Florida State and UF play every single year. You can make it work.
But I'm saying Notre Dame has a few games on their schedule yearly, like year-round. They're like yearly games.
Join a conference.
They play Navy every year, I believe. I believe they play Navy every year.
I don't care. You play in a conference and win your conference championship like everybody else.
I'm gonna get you. They joined the conference a couple years ago and
they went and they won. They joined the ACC in 2020 because of COVID. They won the ACC. They beat Clemson and they got in. I had zero problem with that. They were the ACC champion. Okay. Zero problem with that at all.
Now, I mean, listen. I think we wasting breath because at the end of the year,
we wasting breath.
They're gonna be a 1-loss team and they're gonna be right in the thick of it.
You talked about DJ make or break year. Another person who might be on a make or break year in the NFL is Zach Wilson. So what did the Jets do if other QBs outperform him?
I don't know, because my thing is I've seen Mike White play in both regular and preseason, and he doesn't look bad. Obviously, we know about Joe Flacco, and they say he hasn't looked bad in practice and outside of some of the plays in the preseason. He hasn't looked terrible. So my thing is, it's where the team is, right? What do you do if the Jets are
say 3-0,
3-1,
okay.
3-1, 4-0, and Zach Wilson's healthy? How do you tell a locker room full of people, hey, we're going to switch up the guy?
I think people know that this is a business and that Zach Wilson was drafted in the first round last year, so he's going to get every opportunity, especially if Joe Flacco was playing. Like, Joe was real long in the tooth. Throw Zach out there. You might even cut Joe. I'm saying you're not going to cut Joe. But speaking of cuts, any surprise cuts for you today?
LaMichael Pirine from the Jets. I was surprised, but they have a lot of talent. What was another one? That trade that the Eagles and Saints made, I was a little surprised by. I know that's not a cut. I was just a little surprised that the Saints would make that trade, but I guess it's none of my business.
Howie Fleeson.
That was probably the only big cut. There's like one, it's like on the tip of my tongue. I just don't remember the player's name.
I had two. I was surprised OJ Howard was cut. I am surprised, but I'm not surprised. Like
OJ Howard.
Usually first round tight ends get. Yeah. You're coming up on 4, right? 4 picks away, if my math is correct.
2 people have to go, and then it's my turn.
Okay, so 3 away, and
so
then
right now, so gonna give you a look at an update on the board.
Yeah,
so the last couple draft picks this round so far has been Jalen Hurts, T.J. Hawkinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Kareem Hunt. So at the top right now, best players available: Antonio Gibson, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Any of the last 3 for me. Like I know you're hurt at a running back right now, and Antonio Gibson's right there, but Amon-Ra, Michael Thomas, or Chris Godwin there. Like I like Amon-Ra the most. Like if he's still there, like I don't even I know you need a running back, but damn. Let's look
at the available running backs right now.
Okay. So Antonio Gibson was one of them.
Antonio Gibson, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, Cordero Patterson, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Devin Singletary, Chase Edmonds, Rashad Penny, James Cook, Mondre Stevenson, Damian Pierce, Melvin Gordon, Michael Carter, James Robinson, Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier, Nakeem Hines, Isaiah Spiller.
There's a significant drop after like the sixth name, but I think those people you're drafting with don't understand that depth. So I think if you grabbed Amon Ra right now and then any of those first six names back around the second time, like you might be okay. Not even might, like you'd be okay.
Yeah. Let's see maybe I'll listen to what the people say, but let's see how the board plays out. What were we talking about though?
Kyle said, does Notre Dame play Clemson and USC? Yes, they do. One of those games that might determine the playoff spot. That is correct.
Oh, Clemson and Notre Dame play this year?
Yeah, they play, I want to say mid to late October, and then they play SC right after Thanksgiving, I believe.
Okay, so this is my thing. If you're Notre Dame and you're playing, so they play USC, Clemson, and Ohio State in one season.
Yep.
I mean, and what argument is like, yo, why do we join a conference if we're playing the same number of outside of the SEC? Listen to this. Now, let me speak.
Yeah.
Outside of the SEC, you could say that if you're in the Pac-12, Big Ten, or ACC, you may play a max of 4 ranked top 25 teams. Do you agree? Yes or no?
I agree.
If you're Notre Dame and you're putting 3 to 4 ranked or good to ranked teams on your schedule, and the only difference is that maybe one of you just didn't play a conference championship game, but you're still, I don't know. You have an argument if you only lost one game or you're undefeated. You have an argument. And you know what? And I'm not putting on my Notre Dame cape. Now I think I'm starting to see maybe where the committee is coming from. Pause. But I don't know if every year that they're winning, you're playing 3 to 4 ranked teams. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Notre Dame if they get through their schedule with 1 loss and it's to Ohio State, you just don't have. I don't think you have an argument.
Notre Dame plays USC November 26th. The ACC championship game is December 3rd. That is a week that Notre Dame has off to game plan. It is a competitive disadvantage.
I need to know what this guy is thinking in his draft, man.
Who do you get?
Okay, this is the guy. First round took Nick Chubb at pick 8.
Okay.
He then went DeAndre Swift in his second round. He then went Michael Pittman with his third round pick. He then went DK Metcalf, 4th round pick. AJ Dillon.
Okay.
Michael Thomas.
He just drafted his favorite players. That is a favorite player draft.
I'm so confused at this draft.
That is definitely.
Can I also ask why is nobody high on Amari Cooper? Can I ask that question?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's a great question. Maybe someone like Kyle or Gator J can answer that in the chat. Why people aren't high on Amari Cooper? Let's shift gears back to basketball. RJ Barrett got an extension today. How do you feel about it?
Donovan, I done been in Utah. You're gonna have to look at the Mormons for another year, brother.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Shout out RJ Barrett. I'm glad you got your bag, King. But essentially what they saying.
Yeah. Donovan, keep your winter coat. Don't sell your North Face just yet. You're gonna need a pimp. Donovan, did you get a chance to don't go to any BYU volleyball games either, because they might call you the N-word.
Oh man.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the WNBA playoffs this weekend? I believe you texted me about one game. I think you texted me during the Seattle-Vegas game, if my memory serves me correctly.
It was. I watched the Seattle-Vegas game. I've been trying to catch some. You guys are 3 hours ahead, so when some of the games be coming on, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't been updated. So keep me updated about where we're at so far.
So
we were in the second round.
Yeah, we're in the second round. So there's only 3 rounds in the WNBA playoffs. So the next round will be the finals. Sunday, Seattle, Vegas was everything that I thought it would be. It was an amazing game. Seattle won. It came down to the last shot. If I am a Aces fan, the Aces played horribly and still came down to the last shot that Kelsey Plum missed. She's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. If I'm the Aces, I say to myself, if we play right, this isn't a series. We can wrap this up rather quickly. If you're Seattle, of course, you're happy you stole one on the road. Breanna Stewart. Is that your pick?
All right.
All right. Hold on. We'll come back to WNBA playoffs. Who's on the board for your pick? People, it's go time.
All right, people. I am up next. The guy who was picking in front of me, he took Chris Godwin.
Okay, but you still got Amon Ra, right? Because Michael Thomas is gone too.
Yeah.
So you got Antonio Gibson.
Is anyone who's in the chat? How do you guys feel? Let me give you the top 4 players available right now.
Okay.
Antonio Gibson, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
For me, it's Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. On my team, I have Lamar Jackson, Elijah Mitchell, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Kyle Pitts. This is a 12-team PPR league. 3 flexes, no defense. So we have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 QB, 3 flexes, and a quarterback.
So while the people think about that, I'll wrap up on the WNBA playoffs. Right. Game 2 of Seattle Vegas is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I will not stay up and watch that game. I am an old man. Connecticut, Chicago was an excellent game. Connecticut has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride for the sports analogy. They walked into Chicago Monday night and they beat the defending champions. They played an excellent game. I'm really excited. Game 2 is tomorrow at 8, I believe. I will watch that game. If Connecticut can beat Chicago, that'd be really impressive. The people are talking right now. The streets.
All right. The chat is talking for the folks who cannot see the video right now. So Kyle said in a draft he took Marquise Brown over Amari Cooper in the 5th, hoping he would fall in the late 6th. And he went a few picks ahead of me after I kind of wished I had taken Amari Cooper. Gator J says Amon-Ra St. Brown. Bam says St. Brown is the go-to for me after watching Hard Knocks. I too have been watching and enjoying Hard Knocks. I also had Amon-Ra St. Brown in a keeper league last year, and I wasn't smart enough or hip enough to really put him in. So I feel like I owe it to him this year to draft him as a starter. Because if I would have put him in, I would have won that league last year. Kyle says Brandon Cooks. Kyle, interesting. Can you tell me more about this pick?
Yeah, because I have Brandon Cooks in another league, and I'm kind of regretting it. So, Kyle, if you give me some reassurance, I'd really appreciate that too. While Kyle is typing up his response, did you watch the second episode of the new Game of Thrones series?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay, talk to me.
Have you seen it?
No, I started watching Game of Thrones, and after season 1, I was like,
okay,
yeah.
Let me start by saying this: Black fathers. So of course they have a Black person in Game of Thrones, and he's a character, and he's married. He's a high-ranking official. He's a shipsman. He owns a lot of ships, but he's married to the cousin of or the sister of the king. Essentially, he wanted the Black guy wanted his daughter to marry the king. And
that makes sense.
He was selling his daughter to the king. She's 9.
Excuse me?
You have to think about the times we're in. The king's wife had passed away, so he's getting a lot of pressure on his lineage and having babies because that's all they really thought about then.
Because they want a son, right?
Yes, and the king has already named his daughter as heir, which if you can imagine during that time, that ain't flying. So in this episode, they're kind of starting to paint the skeleton of what this season is starting to be about. And boy, I was looking at that Black father like, this motherfucker, Like you in here trying to sell your daughter.
9-year-old. Why they write us like that?
Well, because back then, as you can imagine, everything then is all about everything was about land, name, titles, so on and so forth. So Kyle in the chat says he thinks Brandon Cooks will soak up the targets and he likes how Davis Mills performed as a rookie.
So it's between Brandon Cooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I do when I have to make a difficult decision? Or Amari Cooper. It's those three, right?
Yeah, but I think it's really down to Brandon Cooks and Amon-Ra.
So when my wife and I are trying to decide where to eat, we always narrow it down to two places. And then we ask Siri to flip a coin. And we have to respect Siri's answer.
So when I have a decision between two fantasy players, I always think about it is my first question is who's likely to get more volume, and the second question is who's likely to be in the better offense.
Okay, it's not saying much because both teams are putrid, but Gator. So it looks like we have 2 for Cooks, 2 for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No. Gator was originally Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he also just said Cooks.
He loves Cooks too. So you have 3 for Amon-Ra St. Brown because Bam, Gator, and myself said that. Kyle said Brandon. But what do you feel?
Quarterback play. Jared Goff, David Mills. Are they that? I guess you can kind of flip a coin because they're about mid.
Yeah. I mean, at least you can talk about Davis's potential, but we know what Jared Goff is.
So Gator would go Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amen-Ra. 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 You about to pick Brandon Cooks. Yes. Thank you, Gator. So Gator's saying Detroit has better offensive line play than Houston.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was my pick.
Ding, 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 ding.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was my pick.
Before we go into Seth Rollins' villainry last night, Bam asked, have we been watching She-Hulk? Yes, I have watched She-Hulk.
I watched the first episode. Have there been a couple more episodes?
It's been 2. They come out every Thursday, so we have 2 right now.
Okay, so I need to watch the latest episode. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. I like the first episode. I think I see where they're trying to take the culture. I like the kind of comedic aspect of it. You can sense that it's not too serious. I'm definitely trying to see, in terms of villain play, like who's the villain here? Who we fighting?
Yeah.
Because like she a Hulk, so you got to know her. She ain't fighting no scrub. Ain't gonna be no magic ninjutsu like Dr. Strange was up here putting up with the Naruto signs. He was up there putting the shadow band jutsu.
Yo, be careful throwing up them signs. People be watching.
Nah, first off, them ain't no signs. All my shinobi out here know. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
All my true shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village,
Oh my God. I wish they were longer. Like they're like 22 minutes. That's a Seinfeld episode. You made Moon Knight. You made me sit through 45 minutes of Moon Knight. Like, give me some She-Hulk.
Nah, but the thing is, if Moon Knight was 30, I probably would have drop kicked my TV. So but it kind of fits what they're trying to do. Like I think there's going to be a little bit more, and maybe I haven't seen the second episode, but like I think there's going to be a little bit more of her kind of like events happening and her kind of talking through quickly, like the summary of what happens. So I like that.
Gator J said hands are clapping here. That is a great Hulk reference.
Thank you. So
I know that's to your pick, but that's a great Hulk reference too.
I mean, my team right now was Lamar Jackson, Elijah Mitchell, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Kyle Pitts, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not going to be picking again for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then my next pick would be on the 11th. And right now they have me slated to take Rashad Bateman, but let me look at the running back position.
Yeah,
We got
let's
still the same: Antonio Gibson, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, Cordero Patterson, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Singletary. Okay, so Kenneth Walker, I think, is where I'll draw the line.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a significant drop. I think one of those guys will be there. Like I think you'll be okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I already have Dameon Pierce in someone that I want to steal. My gut tells me I should steal him early because I heard my coworker mentioning him.
Do it. Well, your coworker's going to pick before you, though, right?
No, this next round I'll pick before him.
Okay, then yeah, snipe it.
Snipe it at 7. What do you think the chances? That was Chase Edmonds.
Gator J said, "What round are we in? We're in the 8th round.
We are in the 6th round.
Okay,
and I have pick. We're currently round 6, pick 9. My next pick is round 7, pick 6.
Okay. Last thing before we go. Last night, for all the wrestling fans, if you haven't seen the clip, Rollins and Matthew Riddle are in a feud right now. And doing his promo, Seth Rollins said, so Riddle talked about Seth's wife. So Seth said, let's talk about your family. Oh, wait. Your wife left your bitch ass and took the kids.
No, because when he said it, I said, whoa.
What? I said,
I ain't never ran to a TV and hit the rewind on DirecTV so fast. I mean, not DirecTV, YouTube TV. He hit the rewind. I said, well, wait a minute. No way he said this. Not on the WWE. And sure enough, he said, oh, wait, you ain't got one because you divorced your bitch ass. And I was
took the kids, and they don't want to see you anymore. Like, oh. And then he called him a bitch 2 more times. He was like, Riddle's like, where are you? He said, come find me, bitch. He said, come find me, bitch. Yo.
Is wrestling back or is wrestling back?
Triple Vince gone. I know it was on some cloudy, shady, sexual, not shady, but like on some sexual harassment charge, like some real serious stuff. But I'm glad Vince is gone. Like Triple H is like, yo, let's make this as fun as possible. Like Sami Zayn is dapping up the Usos and then turning around yelling, bet. Yo, like it's just fun. Yo.
No, but so okay. If the WWE was coming to you, would you go see it right now?
I'd entertain it. Like a year ago, hell no.
The show is coming in about. Hold on. It's going to be in 2 weeks, but I don't know if I'm going to be here.
Yo, and then also Roman Reigns, like the work, like looking into the camera, Leo, I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm sorry. Like this, like I hope he never loses the titles. Like he better not lose them to old boy in Ireland. I don't give a shit about Drew McIntyre.
Yo, I don't know. Like, how long do you think they're gonna let Roman continue? Because he's on his second year?
2 year. Today's like 2 year WrestleMania, and it better not be Brock Lesnar. It better not be Brock Lesnar.
No. But they said that was over with. Like they said that's not coming back.
Good. Yeah, I think let Roman hold it until WrestleMania. And then we can give it to Seth Rollins. Oh damn, they picking fast. That's 2 picks in 30 seconds.
You know why? Because I told him earlier, yo, at 6:30 this thing pauses.
Oh, so that's coming up for you. D, do you have anything else for the people?
All right, so people, do you guys? I got a question, and then we can wrap this thing on up.
Okay.
So, do you think based off my roster right now, my next pick, I should aim for a running back, like lock in a running back? Because the last 3 picks were Chase Edmonds, Brandon Cooks, and Miles Sanders. So, looking at the running backs now, it's Antonio Gibson, Damian Harris, Cordero Patterson, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker. Or if I look at the flex, look at these. Listen to these names at the flex position. Amari Cooper, Juju Smith-Schuster, Adam Thielen, listen to this one. Darnell Mooney is still on the board. Dallas Goedert is still on the board. Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Gabe Davis, Hunter Renfrow is still on the board. Zach Ertz is still on the board. And we have not even gotten to the rookie wide receivers. Drake London is still here. Elijah Moore, Dawson Knox is still here. Alan Lazard, Traylon Burks, Olave. Running backs I have right now, I only have Elijah Mitchell.
So like we talked about this earlier. Before Bam, if you switch to YouTube TV, text me, because if I refer someone, I save $30 and you save $30. So text me and we can talk about that. YouTube TV is excellent. I always go by the strategy. What are there more of? And then pick the answer, the opposite. So if there are more flexes and fewer running backs, I'll take the running back, because I know some of those flex options will be there when I come back around.
How can I ask people how confident they are in this Dameon Pierce?
I mean, what does Houston have going for it outside of him and Brandon Cooks?
I mean, as of right now, he's 22 and he's the clear lead back with no competition.
None. Oh, wow. Kyle's saying take the wide receiver. So, Kyle, my question is, he doesn't have an RB2. He has a bunch of elite pass catchers. So he just keep playing the board and take RB2 later, or should he take his running back while there's still some? Okay, so Kyle, it looks like Kyle's a fan of playing the board. Kyle, I guess the next question that is the strategy, if you get to the end of the draft and you have to get a bargain bin RB2, do you take some of those receivers you drafted or pass catchers and make some sort of trade-off for a semi-decent running back?
I think what Kyle is saying is there's such great options at the wide receiver position that if I get enough of them, it should mask the fact that I'm probably going to have a subpar RB2.
Yeah. Wow, chat's blown up. Wow.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we're getting so for the folks who are listening, Gator said he has been big on Dameon Pierce since before the draft. Kyle said that Juju and Amari Cooper stood out. Gator said maybe not in the 6th round of a startup. Bam said that Kenneth Walker might be a star in Seattle, which I agree. Kyle said he's not confident in the Houston O-line at all. We do have an update. The last pick was Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper just came off the board right there. Okay. So I'm not taking him. Curious to see who's going to be there. Okay. I'd say wait around and see which running backs are there on the next turn. Well, I pick in, we're at the last pick of the 6th round, and I have the 6th pick of the 7th round. So 7 picks ahead of me, it looks like. Okay. All right.
D, where can the streets find you?
Make sure you guys are following the boy at Los D-Mix. That's LOSDEEMIX on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. I know I'm streaming there simultaneously, so make sure y'all pull up. If you guys are watching from the YouTube or the Twitch, much love, much love. Make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend, and make sure you guys smash that subscribe button.
That's interesting. Kyle has one more little nugget. He said, D, I think you should take a bunch of late shots at running back, basically the whole end of the draft, or running backs in your QB tight end combo. You already have Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So I have Kyle Pitts and Lamar Jackson as my QB tight end. So I'll probably get one backup a piece for all those. But I think I might be with Kyle and trying to get like best available and then get to like the later rounds, because I think my backups for my QB and my tight end might not be too bad. I don't know if I shouldn't say what I want to say. Thank you.
I feel like Dallas Goedert might be a steal too. Like people sleep on Dallas
Yeah,
because
Dallas
he's still there,
Goedert.
right?
Yeah, he's
he'll
still
sleep.
there. Pat Fryermuth, Dawson Knox,
Okay.
Cole Kmet, Albert O, David Njoku. I don't know why people are sleeping on him. He's the start. He's the starting tight end.
I drafted him.
Danny, let's know where the people can find you and where they can find this pod. We love the engagement. We love all the folks chatted up. So we can definitely we definitely want to continue doing this for the folks listening. If you are listening, feel free to tune in with us on a Tuesday, usually around 7:30. Now we're usually getting the broadcast started. So always feel free to tune in and pop up. And if you guys pulled up and we're in the chat today, thank you so much. Much love. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to the YouTube and Twitch as well. Danny, take us out of here, man.
What you said, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find me on the Bird app at Danny Ocean 41. But most importantly, you can follow us, the Speak On It pod, Speak On It _pod, Twitter, Instagram. We love the community. We love to connect. We love to talk about fantasy. We love to talk about sports in general. The engagement is the most important. We appreciate you guys rolling up. Kyle, Gator, Bam, everyone that showed love tonight. We really appreciate you. And that's it for us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Love, people, love. Go bump that new JID album. That thing rocking. We here.
All right.
That's what I'm about to play.
Peace.